Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Niara Alexis, and today I'm gonna be trying out Hourglass's new skin tint. It is called their Hydrating Skin Tint Foundation, and I am wearing the shade 16. So if you're interested in seeing what I think about this, then just keep watching. All right, I have seen this foundation, or it's not a foundation, it's a skin tint from Hourglass. They just launched it, I want to say like last week or so, and I've been really wanting to try it, so I went and picked it up today at Sephora. It is called the Veil Hydrating Skin Tint. I have been in my skin tint era for a little while now. I actually prefer skin tint over foundation, even for like my full glam looks, which I did not know like that would become me one day. I always thought I would be like a full glam, full coverage foundation girly, but here we are. I got the shade 16, so we're gonna shade match it. Here is what the packaging looks like. She's a very simple gal, like just a squeezy little tube with a little fancy top, you know, which we can get behind that. And she retails for $49. So she is a little bit pricier than like other skin tints out there. I feel like, you know, you definitely have your drugstore options that are available today. I have tried Hourglass products before, but like their blushes and like their highlighters and stuff. I've never tried a complexion product from Hourglass. I was going to try their settings powder with it because I hear a lot of people say good things about it, but I like put it on my hand in store and it was just looking so chalky, and I was like, I think not. But I also got their concealer to try, and I bought like a little travel size version of it. I love to buy travel size versions of products before I like actually know if I like them or not. Don't get me wrong, I will still return this too if I don't like it, but I like getting the travel size because what I'll do is if I do like a product, before I use up the travel size, I will go back and buy the full size and save this little guy for when I travel. So now I know that I have a smaller version of a product I really like. This is called their, what is it, Vanish Airbrush Concealer, and I got the shade Teak. I went and bought this at Sephora. I think I'm about to like become an Ulta girly, because if I look at something, pick up something, touch something, like side eye something, can I help you with that? Like when I was looking at this, I was shade matching myself, and I know the lady was just trying to be helpful, but she came up, did you need a shade match? No, I don't. Okay, do you know what shade you are? I said no. And please, like, I think it's also too, like, if you come in there with like no makeup, well, you know what, actually I feel like they do it to everybody, but I feel like it's just like especially vulnerable, like when I go in there with no makeup on, that people are looking at me like she don't have no idea what she's doing. I know what I'm doing, man. I like to let my skin breathe. Okay, it's not a full glam every day. And I always shade match like to this lower part of my face right here, and so if I just rub it out like that, looks fine. Blends out well. I'm embarrassed to say when was the last time I washed my brushes, so you know. And I just squirted out this much on the back of my hand. I usually have like a little palette, but I don't know where it is right now. We're gonna do 2 swipes on each cheek, some on the forehead. Now I know I don't use this brush that much. I feel like it soaks up a lot of the product. You see all that product right there? From the feel of this, it definitely feels like something you could like easily get away with like blending out with your hands. Like it's not a product that feels like, oh, you need a brush to like blend this out. I could definitely see like if you want to mix this with like a moisturizer, make it like a tinted moisturizer type of feel, like make it even lighter coverage than it already is, you could definitely do that. It's a skin tint, it's a light coverage. Okay, so I have my little tissue because I ran out of Kleenexes. Y'all remember when maybe you haven't been around that long, but when I first started doing these, I would have like special Kleenexes that I would only use for this, and now it has just elevated to just a square of tissue. We're just gonna press into it, and I like to do this just to see like, because some people don't like to wear setting powder, and I feel like it's helpful to know like how much your product will transfer if you don't wear setting powder versus if you do. So without setting powder, I don't know if you can really see it that well, but that's how much came off, which honestly is not bad. I've seen way worse doing these before. I'm gonna take a little bit of my Laura Mercier honey setting powder. This does have a little bit of a tint to it, but it's nothing crazy that's gonna like affect it. And I'm just gonna pat it up, not all over my shirt, not over my shirt. This is the black shirt, come on. And I'm gonna just pat it right in here to this area. And you see how that instantly like matted, blurred it out, everything like that. And I'm going to pat it in here. And this barely wants to hold on now. Okay, so virtually you have no color payoff, no transfer when you put just a little bit. You saw how little setting powder I put down, just a little bit, versus if you have no setting powder. And even without setting powder, it's not that much transfer, but I would much rather have no transfer personally. And because this is such a glowy product, I would definitely say for my girls that have oily skin, you are gonna wanna put a setting powder on top of this for it to last a bit longer throughout the day. So now I wanna try the concealer with it. Like I said, I got the shade Teak. And how much does the concealer run for? The concealer, so the little mini sizes are $18, the full size is $36. And it says that this is a natural finish, good for dark circles, a full coverage concealer as well. So I only got one shade because I'm very into like my one shade concealers these days, but I do have my Lancome like just sitting here on the side in case I need it. And let's just like look at this on the skin. Like that is the color it's giving, which I feel like that's a good concealer shade for me. Let's compare it to my Lancome. I always like when I get new concealers, I want to compare it to like my favorite one that I'm using at the time to see like how different it is. And I feel like this is a pretty close match. Okay, my Lancome concealer is a little bit lighter. If you can see, this is the Lancome and this is the Hourglass. So the Lancome one is a little light, like a little bit lighter, but it's in the same family. I was watching Nicole Guerrero's channel the other day and she said her hack for like no creasing is just don't put your concealer all the way up to where like the creases are. Like don't put it all the way up under your eyes. So I've been doing that for like the past couple of days. And I get it. Like that makes so much sense to just not do that. I hate when I cover up my little mole. Because this is like a little bit of a glam look. It's not like a full on like heavy cakey glam, but it's glam. I applied a little bit more. So I'm gonna let that concealer sit up for a little bit and I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup. You guys can sit here and watch, and then I'll come back and show you like the finished tutorial, what my makeup looks like, what I think about these products, and I will also link all of these products that I'm using down in the description bar below. So if you're interested, check down there because everything I use will be down there, all right? right, y'all, this is our finished look. Am I looking? I feel like I'm looking a little powdery. This is why I don't do that too often. Now I have to like sit here and buff forever. Okay, that's just gonna have to work. Both of them get a thumbs up from me. Like, they're very nice. Where are they? They're very nice. The skin tint is like your skin but better. But as you can see, you can do a full glam with it. You're still gonna see, like, if you have any dark marks, hyperpigmentation that you wanna hide, you might wanna conceal that with like a little concealer first. I personally don't mind it these days. Like, I prefer like the imperfections of my skin to show through, because, you know, that's just me. And then I also like the concealer because it is a very like high coverage concealer, and when I wear skin tints, I do like to wear a more full coverage concealer, like for under my eyes. And like I said, my new little trick is now not putting so much concealer like close underneath like my eyes, like where my creases are. It helps like stop the creasing. I do feel like this skin tint is pricey, like it's $50. If you like Hourglass and you're an Hourglass fan, I would definitely say go ahead. If you're new to Hourglass, this would be a great introduction into the product range. Like, this was my first Hourglass like complexion product, and I really enjoyed it, and I don't think I'm gonna return it. Y'all know I always like to keep it honest with y'all when I review products, if I'm gonna return it or not. I don't think I am. I think I'm gonna keep this because this feels like something that would be really good for like an upcoming vacation I have. Like, it just feels like it would be like all around good, and not just for the summertime. I feel like this will wear really well into like the cooler months as well, when you need like that extra hydration in your skin. As for the concealer, I really like it, but I don't like it enough to go buy a full size. I think I'm still like day to day gonna be rocking with like my Lancome, but that doesn't mean that this is a bad concealer. I still like it. I'm definitely gonna save this little size and make sure that I don't really use it that much. Like, I might use it here or there if I just like, you know, have a feeling for it, but for the most part, I'm gonna save this with like all of my other travel makeup. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.